Hello everyone, this is Grandmaster Hot Sauce bringing you an in-depth guide on Genji, where I'll be showing you my thought process and what you need to take away from this game to improve your own gameplay. I'm playing on my Master Smurf, and I think this match is a good example of how having proper positioning and building up Dragon Blade before the enemy supports get their ults will enable you to snowball a victory. Remember that we have an advanced course on Genji on GameLeap.com covering everything from tips and tricks to positioning to decision making, which will surely make you a master of this hero in no time. There's a special 25% off code in the link below, so make sure to check that out now. One of Genji's biggest advantages over other types of DPS is his vertical mobility. Always check the high ground. DPS and tanks on defense will often start on this red building here. Always a good idea to check this building first off, or like general high ground areas. So we see the monkeys sitting up there. Don't really want to contest him yet. A better target. A Torbjorn straight out in the open. We're damage boosted. We're gonna hit him with a dash right click. The dash right click is a really good combo because it puts a lot of damage straight in, so it's a good thing to practice. Just dash and then right click melee is the combo here. Unfortunately, we get killed by a turret. Not much I can do about that. I think I hit deflect, but the Moira and the monkey zap damages would have been enough to kill me anyways. But on attack, it's often valuable to get a trade kill because your respawns are so much closer. So even though I died there, it's fine because it turns it into a 5v5 and I will respawn before their Torbjorn gets back into the fight. So as we come back, we're looking to get ult charge because we're kind of far behind, and make sure that our Reinhardt stays alive. So the reason I walked in front of him to deflect was because he was getting low, my Reinhardt, and I wanted to give him an opportunity to like heal up and make sure the Roadhog doesn't push further. So putting your deflect in between, because it blocks all of the damage for about a second, is a good option to protect your teammates sometimes. It also gives you a lot of ult charge if you can deflect a lot of damage. So here, my teammate called in voice chat, there's a Roadhog flanking behind. It's important to stay in voice chat so that you can hear your teammates calling for peels. So as Genji, since you have so much mobility, it's really easy for you to peel for your teammates. And I know my Tracer is behind me, so I don't need to kill him quickly. I just need to block damage and make sure that he doesn't get a hook off or something and kill Tracer. So right now, we're about 70 to Blade, and we're easily winning this fight, so all we need to do is try and build Blade as quickly as possible in this next, like, 10 seconds. So I see the Torbjorn, but I go too high, and the turret is in LOS of me, so I'm taking a lot of damage from the turret. You always want to be mindful of where your healers are playing. My Ana is behind a couple walls, so she can't heal me. And my Mercy, I have no idea where she is. But you want to make sure that you are staying within your healer's LOS when you are going to be taking damage. So if the turret is targeted on you, you want to get out of that target area as quickly as possible or stay within your Ana's LOS. So because this Torbjorn is walking up the stairs, I don't want to keep chasing him because his turret will kill me if I go any further. So here we're just looking to clean up those kills. And Torbjorn's back. In between fights, when the enemy is regrouping, you always want to be pushing up onto some sort of high ground or like a choke point and spam your shurikens down at the enemy who's respawning or trying to regroup so that you can build your ultimate. I see the Roadhog. He's a fat, juicy ultimate charge. And the enemy team made a mistake by trying to contest here. There are a couple down, and we had all 6. Kind of a waste for them to try and touch. All it does is build our ultimate. So what I'm trying to do in this fight is clean up the fight as quickly as possible and make sure that we keep the advantage so that I don't have to use Blade. After we've taken the first point, I see this D.Va on the high ground. What you should be doing when you see a tank, especially a D.Va or like a DPS who is separated alone, Genji has a really easy time taking out targets who are separated from their team. So this D.Va, her Moira is on low ground and can't reach high ground. So I see this D.Va and I wanna demech her. So you should be looking to demech D.Vas in between fights, because then they won't be able to have like a full 6 team when they initiate for the next fight. So right now my team is discussing what ultimates they used last fight and what ultimates we're going to use. We're coming up on Nano Blade and Grav. We're pretty sure that they have Trance. So when you have Blade and they have Trance, you want to make sure that you don't Blade when they're using Transcendence. You want to bait it out. So if your Zarya has Graviton, a good idea is to ask the Zarya to use Grav to bait out the Trance and then Nano Blade afterwards. So all I need to do right now, I don't need to be poking tanks for ult charge. I have my ult. All I need to be doing is making sure that their DPS don't kill all of my team and that I stay alive in time to pull off the Nano Blade. So this monkey jumps in with his, after using his bubble. When you see a target who has used all of their cooldowns and is like out of their healer's LOS, you always want to try and punish that. So using your dash cooldowns and trying to get combos of damage onto it, even if you don't like insta-kill them, just getting damage on targets who are in your backline and your team can follow up is always valuable. Our Zarya used Grav, they use Trance, so now all we have to do is wait for my Ana to get Nano Boost and then clean up the fight from there. So see, Ana is 98. I contest the soldier a little bit. Don't want to contest people who have like a pocket Ana. That Ana was right behind him. Definitely don't want to keep on him for too long because you can't really burst him down that easily when he has both heal pad and Ana pocket heals available. So I just wait 1 second for my Ana to get Nano and then clean up. Slash dash combo is really good with Genji. Insta kills when you have Nano Boost. It'll kill through Trance, but it's really hard to pull off, so you still want to bait the Transcendence before you try and do it. But when you combine Nano Boost and Mercy damage boost, you can one-shot with one slash. If you're in a scenario where they have Transcendence and you don't have a Graviton to bait it out, a good option if you're running on a Mercy is to just ask your Mercy to damage boost you, and then you can kill the squishies without needing to pull off the slash dash animation cancel. I don't want to stay on point for too long because I need to be pushing up and trying to get ult charge from the respawning enemies, because if I can build Blade before their Zenyatta builds Trance again, we get another free fight win, basically. So all you do in the pre-fight is basically wait for an opportunity. So wait for the enemy to waste their cooldowns or get in a position where you can deal some combo damage on somebody. In this scenario, the D.Va pressures you. We see that the monkey has jumped in with using both his bubble and his leap. So like he has no escape and he's very far out of LOS. What you want to do every time when you have an easy target in your backline is to dash and right click to confirm that kill every time, right? Because you get a free dash reset every time you get a kill. So after getting hit by Reinhardt swings and you're like below 100 health, you really want to avoid getting hit again. A good option against a Reinhardt, if you get hit the first time, you want to use a wall climb or a double jump to get further away, because he doesn't have any vertical mobility, and if he doesn't have Fire Strike up, he can't really chase you. So here I get you get the reset from that Lucio death. I see the soldier running up onto high ground. So when you see a soldier running up onto high ground on the opposite direction, you want to get in a position where you won't be in his line of sight. So we're looking to get behind this Reinhardt and pressure this soldier while at the same time not just running at his face, right? So I hear the soldier pops visor and this Reinhardt is one. We're going to slow this down a bit to show exactly how I got over here so quickly. So we get hit by the Reinhardt, but his hammer sends us a lot further than it normally would because we are jumping in the air. It's based off of your in-game momentum, so this effect is increased when you're in the air. If you're jumping when the Reinhardt swings at you, his hammer swing will send you a lot further away and he won't be able to hit follow-up swings on you. So here I use that jump hammer swing. We'll watch it again, but I used his hammer swing after I jumped to send me further near the health pack. There it is. So the soldier is visoring. I want to avoid that damage. I know this Reinhardt is going to die soon, so I'm going to have dash up in a second. If you see a soldier ulting from the high ground, you don't want to be playing on payload. You want to be on a flank. When you flank, most people's reaction in this game immediately is to start strafing left and right. When you flank, you want to come from the side, like I did, so that when they do start strafing, they don't actually move very much on your view. It doesn't look like they're moving, basically. It makes them easier to hit. And also, a lot of good players in this game will have 180s practice really easily, so if you come straight from behind, a good player will easily be able to 180 and start shooting you. So coming from the side when you're flanking is important. And here, since the soldier didn't get a very big visor, we just need to clean up. Now, coming into this next fight, we have Nanoblade, and since their Zenyatta hasn't been alive for most of those fights, I know that he doesn't have Transcendence yet. So I'm looking to wait until they have used a couple cooldowns that counter me, such as like Sleep, Brigitte Bash, or Zarya Bubbles. Wait for those cooldowns to be used, and then after the enemy has used those cooldowns, what you're going to want to do when you have a Nanoblade available is wait until the enemy is just about to start contesting the payload, and then that's the perfect moment to get a fight win, basically. So when you have these ultimates available, even though I'm not looking for ultimate charge with poke damage, I'm basically just scouting and seeing what direction they're coming from. It's always a good idea to be pushing up and looking at where the enemy is coming from and letting your team know if like they made any swaps or something. So in the pre-fight, all you should be looking for is cooldowns that they've used. I see that this Zarya used Bubble. I'm about to tell my Ana to go in. They use Sleep, and we just win the fight from there, basically, as soon as they've used those cooldowns. They have nothing to stop the Nanoblade. And it's as simple as that. Another thing about Blade, even though it's flashy, you don't always want to go for the 6k Blade. Oftentimes, it is more valuable to get 1 or 2 kills, really the best. If you can get a key targets, and then your team easily wins the fight afterwards, you'll get more value out of it because you can get the ult charge from cleaning up those enemies after you've won the fight, right? So from here, I just use Blade. I'm looking to get poke damage on the respawning targets. So I'm sitting on high ground. When you know the enemy is going to be respawning, you always want to be looking at their spawn pretty much from a relatively safe position. Because Genji's shurikens don't have damage fall off, you can be far away and still just spam a choke and get value out of it from building ult charge. See, I'm already at 11% ult charge after just blading.